What's going on, everybody? Halo Drummer here, yet again, with another Rewind Rumble reaction video. This one is Naruto versus Avatar. Aang versus Naruto animation. But from what I saw in the thumbnail, it showed Sasuke and Gaara with Naruto, and Togh and Zuko. I can't remember his name. He was the prince of the Fire Nation. Got that burnt up. I really can't remember his name. I've seen both, but it's been much longer time since I've seen Avatar than Naruto. Don't really know. It's crazy to try to pick one because you don't know what version of Naruto they're using. Well, technically, you don't know what version of Aang they're using either. Has he already learned, water bending, earth bending, and fire bending? Or is he just air bending? Has Naruto tapped into his Nine Tails power, or is he just normal as Naruto? Who knows? So it's really hard to call. Because it really just depends on what version of each character they're using. Like, at what stage in the show are they using? If they're using their final versions, that's still hard to say. Because Naruto's a beast at the end of that show, and Aang is also a beast at the end of his show. This one I'm staying out of prediction range because I really don't know where to take it. But let's get in and see what happens. Oh, and for future reference, I'm going to start pretty much just skipping that intro. That way we can get right to the analysis, straight to the fight, straight to the post-analysis, and then we can get on to the next one.
If you grew up watching TV in the early 2000s
and there you go.
watch a team of young, inspiring heroes develop into legendary icons, then odds are one or even both of these series were your choice to make.
Naruto versus Avatar: The Last Airbender. East versus West. Cartoons versus anime. Everything sounds great, but I have one important question, Rewind. How many Naruto-themed battles have you done so far on this series?
If we include Sasuke, then more than I could count, Leo, but I'm not one who usually dwells in the past. I'm more excited about answering questions for the future, like who's going to win this Rewind Rumble.
Good question.
To start things off, we got a team of 3 Naruto characters versus 3 Avatar characters.
Okay, so it is a gang fight.
Made multiple appearances in the crossover scene. In specific, these include Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara versus Aang, Zuko, and Togh. As for the age range of these characters, none of them are getting their adult feats. We're not using any adult characters on both series. Naruto will be right about after the war arc, and Avatar will come from the first series on Nickelodeon, not the second one. Characters that have made multiple appearances will be kept at a brief.
I'm sure they mean the Naruto after the Fourth Great Ninja War, which
starting with the
he was an animal.
Naruto is a ninja with
as was Sasuke.
Impressive skill. He has mastered the Rasengan and has a very dangerous Demon Fox cloak. The regenerative abilities granted to him constantly heal most damage he takes, so putting him down won't be easy.
Aang. He was the last airbender, and the first cartoon hero to pull off an anime design without it feeling forced. Well, I can't say for certain if he was the first, but what I can say is that he was the Avatar during the century-long war known as the 100-Year War, of course.
That's interesting, Leo, but what exactly is an Avatar?
The Avatar is sort of like an ambassador that represents a physical embodiment of light and peace through the connection with the Avatar spirit. They can bend all 4 elements: earth, fire, water, and air. The Avatar holds a connection to the spirit world and is in peak condition in the spirit world rather than outside of it, due to being surrounded by spiritual energy. Since the Avatar is so powerful, it's his or her job to keep the peace and balance between all nations of the world.
Shortly before beginning the 100-Year War, Aang was frozen in an iceberg for 100 years. He later emerged, still biologically 12 years old, into a world engulfed by war. Luckily for Aang, he has an impressive array of skills, powers, and abilities. Aang was extremely agile and quick even without bending. But with bending, he's a whole other set of problems for his foes. He can airbend, waterbend, earthbend, firebend, and even energy bend. Energy bending allows the bender to both strip and restore a person's bending abilities and transfer knowledge from one person to another.
It's time for me to insert the obligatory phrase. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Speaking of everything changing, let's change characters and discuss Zuko and Sasuke.
Sasuke? Do you really think it's a good idea to bring Sasuke onto this channel for a 5th time? What is he? Sans?
Oh god,
He just might be.
that
So
little bit of
because he
Seinfeld
hasn't been
music
the
better not
Sans
be
so
in
far
that
in
shit.
this series, let's keep his review brief. Sasuke was a member of Team 7 and the once rebellious ninja is now an established figure in his village alongside with his best friend and rival Naruto. Sasuke is very skilled with lightning and fire chakra natures.
As a kid, Sasuke's main chakra natures are lightning and fire. He doesn't master all of them until adulthood, but with lightning and fire alone he can still pack a punch, especially with his Chidori chakra ball. Sasuke is also proficiently trained in ninjutsu, and with his Sharingan he can quickly memorize his opponent's fight patterns and counter them with relative ease.
So remember that Fire Nation Leo warned everyone about? Well, they were ruled by a royal family.
That royal family had a strong heir to the throne, but none were more destined to one day rule than Prince Zuko. Spoiler alert, but that statement couldn't be any further from the truth. Zuko was actually banished from the Fire Nation as his ideals did not see fit with the current agenda. Zuko was only allowed to come back with his honor intact if he had captured or killed the Avatar. Anything less than that and he would still be considered an outcast.
Zuko at first, for multiple years, tried to defeat the Avatar. Then he slowly started to realize that he shouldn't just end up as a pawn for someone else's dreams and decided to eventually team up with Aang and fight for what's right. Zuko's abilities include firebending, which allows him to blast fire out of his hands and feet as well as manipulate it to his liking.
Zuko is more than just a firebender. Even without his bending, he is trained to become a master in swordsmanship. He is also very skilled at infiltrating new territories, breaking incoming projectiles with his bare hands, and
you're
he's a
not
very
fucking with
skilled
Sasuke
tracker
if y'all getting a
who's been able
sword
to
fight.
track Aang down from all over the world.
And last but not least, we have Gaara and Togh.
Gaara and Togh. You would expect this pair to make sandstorms, but from the looks of things, it seems like they can only make salt storms.
Salt in this day and age is inevitable, but let's enjoy the color.
Yeah, I can see how Gaara and
Starting
Togh
with
would be
She's an earthbending
matched
expert
up.
and even discovered the art of metal bending.
Take that, man of steel.
Togh was blinded at birth. She was very introverted due partially to bullying and partially to her overprotective parents. Thanks to her own unique style of earthbending, Togh grew stronger and became famous for winning multiple underground earthbending tournaments under the title The Blind Bandit. She even accomplished this all behind her parents' backs, or in front of them. She couldn't really see either way.
Toph is easily one of the most powerful earthbenders in the world, but she's not perfect. Due to being solely dependent on the Earth's vibrations, she is very vulnerable to air-based attacks if they are not made of Earth-based materials. Regardless, she's a very
that
tough
definitely makes
opponent
sense.
to put down thanks to her unpredictability and the fact that she can use earthbending for far more than just fighting. Without sight, it's become her way of observing everything.
Gaara was never born to be feared, but before he was born, his superiors already gave him the role of the one-tailed Shukaku, essentially predestining him to be used as a weapon of fear for the village. This left Gaara isolated, especially
Gaara's
since his mother
childhood was
died
pretty
at birth.
fucked up.
Gaara's childhood was certainly one of tragedy, but I look at the sandbox as half full. For better or for worse, Gaara grew into becoming a total powerhouse. His nature transformations
That
include
nigga grew
earth,
to be
lightning,
psychotic,
and wind release.
but he
He's an
eventually got
expert at
over that.
manifesting, manipulating, and controlling sand flow. He carries plenty of
And
sand.
see, I was
and
just
he can
thinking
always
of
rip
that.
from the earth
Gaara
and
can get
more.
into the air.
Even as a kid, Gaara was very dangerous towards his foes.
In battle, Gaara's
I feel like that's where he might have an advantage over Toph.
Toph. Using his sand to attack opponents from a distant range. The attacks usually follow a similar pattern. Capture and immobilize the target, then crush all parts of their body. Gaara's shield and sand automatically protects him from most threats, even those he's not aware of.
In total, that's 3 Naruto characters and 3 Avatar characters. We've got your lead protagonists, the rivaling frenemies, and the salty earth manipulators.
Alright.
And now, let's set ourselves a circumstance. In
Still
order to get
still
the
hard to
most
say
out of
who
all
will get
three
this one,
characters,
but
this battle will take
we'll
place
see.
in a
I'm
wide variety
staying out of
of earthly
predictions.
minerals and little to no human interruption. The preparation will be kept at 0 since naturally both teams have fair chemistry between each other. Once that circumstance bar has finally loaded, it's time to rewind rumble.
Okay. What up? Tamari. Been a while since I seen Naruto also. Believe it.
I don't know how to lose!
Not knowing how to lose is not the same as the fact that you got your ass whipped a couple times. Oh! Excuse me. Long day at work. Yeah, I can see how Aang would be able to neutralize that Rasengan for sure.
That'll do it!
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. Assume at some point Naruto's gonna go into Tailed Beast mode.
You're not getting away!
Okay, Naruto. Is Gaara just like already out of this fight? What the fuck? Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, he can manipulate fire. I cannot see Zuko losing to Sasuke in any way, shape, or form. But we'll see. Amaterasu? Oh, it's activated from Mangekyo Sharingan. I thought he was about to set one of the motherfuckers on fire. Yep, he's in the air. That's where he gets the advantage. Sand barrier. Which is actually one of my favorite moves in the whole show. Oh yeah, Zuko can redirect lightning. I do remember that. Got him. I can't argue with that at all. I cannot argue with that outcome. Like I said, giving the pairings, Naruto and Aang, wasn't really sure how that would go. Gaara versus Togh, like I said, if he can get in the air, which he did, that was a wrap. Sasuke versus Zuko, like I said, I can't see Zuko winning that in any way, shape, or form.
As well as the overall research. Robert S. was the Idea Raffle winner who specifically selected this idea.
I mean, I know I try not to power scale between different shows because they don't use the same type of power scaling, but yeah, real talk. Sasuke wasn't losing to Zuko. There's no fucking way.
To see my show Universes. Watch some recent fights like Tarzan vs. Grug or Finn vs. Steven, some popular fights like Gru vs. Megamind or Bowser vs. DDD, and get hyped for my upcoming fights involving Dragon Ball characters and a special 50th episode. Leopold the Brave, out.
That's what it looks like when you record directly after work.
Our winner is Team Naruto, and boy oh boy is this going to be a doozy. Let's start off with Naruto and his top speed and Sage of Six Paths mode. Within this mode, he was able to point blank dodge the light from Madara.
Oh yeah, I said Nine-Tails mode, so I was wrong about that, yeah.
Light in the 4th data book. It is also backed up by a previous scaling, because right before this, Guy Sensei, when he was in the 8th gate, was able to run so fast he was literally distorting space, and Madara was able to react to him, and it said that Naruto has been on par, if not greater than the reaction time than Madara, so him point blank dodging light makes a lot of sense. Now for his base form from the War Arc, he should be Lightning Timer due to the fact that he's superior to Kid Kakashi, who is already fast enough to cut a lightning bolt in half while heavily drained of stamina. In terms of chakra potency, he had enough chakra to fuel at the very least 1,000 ninjas with lowballing, with 3 times the amount of chakra levels that he normally would have, and he was able to do all this with only half of the 9-tailed chakra. In Naruto the Last, it took a couple hundred ninjas to fuel a cannon capable of blowing up the moon, and the thing we need to remember about this is that these ninjas were not aware that the moon was hollow. They only calculated this cannon to be able to teleport and blow up the
Naruto the Last.
moon,
I do believe that's a movie, and to my
Naruto
knowledge, I'll have to
chakra
look more into it.
literally fuel at least
The
1,000
movies aren't
ninjas
canon,
with
so
over 3 times the amount of their normal levels, showing he has more than enough energy to fuel a moon-busting cannon, and Madara absorbed the 10-tailed beast who could casually blow away nations and whose pure chakra is comparable to that of a small world in size, and Naruto was able to handle this guy. He also briefly swapped hands with Kaguya Uchizuki, who had the power to create an expansive truth-seeking ball and obliterate her entire pocket dimension, which was big enough to hold a planet and the moon. Now Naruto isn't quite on her level right there, but briefly he was able to swap hands with her and overwhelm her with a couple of 1,000 shadow clones. It's also confirmed that he can create 2,000 shadow clones, and that the shadow clones are not like split body technique from Dragon Ball. They don't split your power and your speed. His shadow clones are just slightly below him, and regardless in terms of power and speed, he has great regeneration. He can absorb nature energy from around the planet, and he can sense limbo clones, which exist on a different plane of existence. Regular Sage mode Naruto was seen lifting a giant rhinoceros and tossing it several feet into the air casually. He gets physically stronger with other transformations. He's even been seen falling on a bunch of stalagmites and taking basically 0 damage. As for Sasuke, he's in the same ballpark as Naruto, although he does have less stamina and less chakra, but in terms of raw striking force, he is easily again in that same ballpark, especially when he uses his Chidori. Plus, he's just as fast as Naruto in terms of reaction and combat, and heck, he was even able to actually blitz both Madara and Naruto, and this was after Naruto point blank reacted and dodged a light speed attack. So with that, you can easily say Sasuke was punching faster than light right there with his Chidori. Naruto and Sasuke were able to create a moon by slapping their seals and hands together. Teenage Gaara should easily be town level. His sand was capable of taking a blast that could destroy a village, and his sand could basically shield an entire village, as shown right in the manga panel. Plus, he's able to tag other characters that are easily considered lightning timers.
yeah, when he
Him
was
being
fighting
lightning timer
Data.
himself is backed up because he should be superior to young Kakashi, who again was fast enough to cut a lightning bolt in half while heavily drained of chakra. Even in part 1 of Naruto, he was able to cover pretty much the entire forest with his sand, which would already be multi-city block just as a kid, and in that same situation, he went up against somebody that had the bones
Part 1
that are
of
harder than
Naruto
steel,
shipping
and
it.
his bow was capable of damaging this guy, crushing his bones that are harder than steel. This again was just Kid Gaara. Teenage Gaara is one that is easily town level and has lightning speed. The last airbender himself is capable of reacting to lightning, same with Zuko, as they both have shown they can react to lightning and redirect her as well. As for Togh, she hasn't exactly shown that she has the reaction speed of that of lightning level. However, in this certain situation, I would personally give her a generous highball and scale her to lightning time just out of generosity. So the two of them at most are definitely lightning level in terms of speed, and one of them is debatable. Togh has matched King Boomy before. King Boomy has shown large building level feats to city block with earthbending. Togh also separated an island. She did not destroy it, however.
I do
though to
remember that
separate
fight in
an
the show was
island
actually pretty
like that,
awesome.
You would still need at least city levels of force. Aang being at minimum city level is backed up too. via as he also lifted a city while in Avatar mode, so scaling to the other Avatar makes sense, plus he has the knowledge and power of the past Avatars. When in the Avatar state, Aang uses the combined experience and power of all the other Avatar incarnations, so he should scale to this feat. This would at best put Aang at island level. Overall, Team Avatar's best feats are island level and massively hypersonic, being able to dodge lightning, while Team Naruto's base speed feats are at the same speed and have small planet, large continent level power scaling feats. Plus they go all the way up to FTL if we use their super impressive forms. Team Naruto pretty much outclasses Team Avatar through raw stats alone. Debating everything else is kind of redundant since the stat gap is so wide. Making the winner of this Rumble, Team Naruto. Now forget the...
Alright, we'll stop right there. Alright, Team Naruto won. I do like Naruto better, so I guess deep down I was kind of hoping that would happen anyway. Like I said, I really didn't know where to put Naruto versus Aang. I just don't even really know what else to say about that. But yeah, Zuko versus Sasuke, to me that was a given. Gaara versus Togh, that was kind of up in the air. Like I said, Gaara can get into the air. And if he could, then it was a wrap. He did, and it was a wrap. But yeah, that was definitely a good one. But as is tradition, on to the next time when I have time, and until then, peace.